Thankful to Allah for bringing us another Friday. I stand here as the CEO of the Zakat and Sadaqah Trust Fund. My name is Haj B.M. Adam, the CEO of Zakat and Sadaqah Trust Fund of Ghana. Standing here on behalf of our numerous subscribers to Zakat Fund for the past 14 years. Standing here on behalf of the board chairman of Zakat and Sadaqah Trust Fund and the vice chairman and all the board members, our chairman, our own brother and Chief Alasan Andani, being the board chairman, I stand here on their behalf. And also seeking the permission of the National Chief Imam, who is the supreme head of the National Muslim Conference, and at the same time, the supreme head of Zakat and Sadaqah Trust Fund of Ghana. Last week, we brought to your attention a very important topic, a topic for the development of the entire Ghana, that is the government policy of introducing Islamic banking system in Ghana. Islamic banking system, that is the interestless banking system, a banking system without interest, but for profit-sharing partnership. And today's topic is the symbiotic link between Zakat and Sadaqah institutions and Islamic banking institutions. You know, every tenet of Islam dovetails into each other, particularly the 5 pillars of Islam dovetail into each other. You can't pick one and leave another. So Islamic banking is coming to enhance the 3rd pillar of Islam. That is why the Zakat institution in Ghana or anywhere in the world has a very strong link with the Islamic banking system. As you can see, the Islamic banking system is actually to promote sustainable economic growth and also enhance financial inclusion of all in any country. And the government has seen it fit to actually incorporate Islamic banking system with a conventional banking system that is highly dependent on interest. Many countries have embraced the Islamic banking system across the world, not only in the Islamic world. We have Islamic banking system operating efficiently and effectively in the UK, in the US, in Germany, in France, in Italy, in South Africa, in Uganda, so many other countries, not to even mention Islamic countries, and the Far East, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, and all these countries. The Western countries are very particular and promote Islamic banking because of the immense benefit that it enhances. The conventional banking system is highly dependent on interest, money to money, money buying money. The bigger difference is that Islamic banking system doesn't depend on interest. It doesn't think of interest because interest-based banking in many places is based on the capitalist economic system, and that actually widens or further widens the gap between those who have and the less endowed, the well-endowed and the less endowed. In the case of the Islamic banking system, that is based on profit-sharing partnership, rather bridges the gap between the less endowed and the well-endowed. At the end of the day, there is financial inclusion of all, no matter your financial status or economic status in the country. At the end of the day, the poor can lean on those who have to rise up to a level whereby one day they can also be in a position to give. As you know very well, the conventional banking system has an element that casts away so many people in the economy. They can come near the entrance of the banks because of the risk element in the conventional system. That high risk of going in for a loan, and that loan that attracts interest, and that interest, if you are not mistaken, or if you are mistaken, it can be compounded. So we begin to pay compounded interest on the capital plus the interest plus another interest plus another interest. At a point in time, even if you are selling yourself, you can't even repay the loan. So most people are cut off of the financial system. In the case of the Islamic banking system, they don't call the customers customers. The customers become partners to the bank so that you go in and you are supported. It is a tangible asset-based financing system. The financial system of Islamic banking has products that support you to go in for business and they don't give you cash, they invest into a business, they invest into equipment, they invest in tangible assets that will enhance you to promote your entrepreneurship. So the entrepreneur creates a system by which he can perform, and the bank actually provides the capital. At the end of the day, there is a clear base of profit sharing, well noted, documented before the support is given. At the end of the day, it can be 50-50 profit sharing ratio or 60-40, depending upon your understanding. So when you go into the business, it is like it's for you and the bank. Now, when it's like that, the entrepreneur is going to also engage the human resource. And therefore, the human resource is also built so that people who have acquired skills and some knowledge of the business are also engaged into the system. Then the profit is shared between the bank and the entrepreneur, and those who have supported the entrepreneur to produce the product or service also have a remuneration that will also help them to live a comfortable life. Therefore, most people have become so much interested in the Islamic banking system for this reason. We have the Mudaraba profit sharing system, the Murabaha cost plus financing product. We have the Ijara, that's the leasing. We have the Sukuk, that is Islamic bonds. And we have the many others that actually makes you, the entrepreneur, a partner to the bank. At the end of the day, everyone wins. It's a win-win situation. For that matter, these capitalist countries have adopted Islamic banking in many of their states. In the UK, we have the Al Rayyan Islamic Bank. In the US, we have the Islamic Bank ABC. The ABC Islamic start producing alcohol or intoxicants or other wasted products like opening brothels here and there, or into pork producing factories. They won't give you money for that, because that one, even cigarette, they won't give you money to invest in cigarette production, because whatever is injurious to the human being is not permitted in Islam. Whatever will be injurious to you, don't give it to your neighbor. That is the essence. So the ethical investment in Islamic banking system, the partnership in the Islamic banking system, the interestless, because they don't trade money for money, so there's no interest. But they promote sustainable economic growth so that everyone in the transaction benefits at the end of the day. The society will grow up and bridge the gap between the poor and the rich. This is the essence. So if you go on, you realize that we need to do this education. And the Zakat institution anywhere in the world is put in place as a pillar of Islam to bridge this economic gap. So that in Ghana, for instance, we had a Zakat and Sadaqah Trust Fund that has been operating for the past 14 years. It was actually initiated by the Muslim caucus in parliament, led by well-known technocrats in parliament. It has grown to a certain level now that we even have a Zakat Hour program on GTV. So the Islamic banking system has a place by which all the customers in the bank receive advice as to the level at which they should begin to computing their zakat and use it to pay or to invest in the name of the poor. For example, now that in Ghana we have a zakat institution, formalized zakat institution, using strong corporate practices to mobilize zakat funds, to manage it and to disburse, particularly to our critically sick who may not have the resources to fend for themselves or to have medical